I have a possible answer for personal favorite romantic comedy, as well as some other thoughts about good ones throughout time. Would you like to hear my personal favorite romantic comedy?
I would.
I think Splash with Daryl Hannah, because she's a mermaid.
Pick.
She's an otherworldly, innocent creature.
That's an awesome pick.
Oh, thank you.
That's a really,
Thanks.
really interesting. I wouldn't have thought of that even as a romantic comedy. But it's not, I don't know, I guess I saw it when I was young.
Mm-hmm.
And I might not have caught on to the formula yet. I tend to think of the first romantic comedy as Harry Met Sally.
Right. And I probably wouldn't pick that one because, although it's well written, Nora Ephron is always good. She's very capable. I'm not crazy about either of those protagonists. He's cynical and she's very uptight and conventional, but they do have a real friendship, and they challenge each other, and they're both great performers. And she knows how to fake an orgasm very nicely in a delicatessen.
I genuinely dislike both of those actors now.
Really?
You know, and I don't know if that's because I have changed.
Mm-hmm.
And probably it's because I have changed.
Mm-hmm.
But back then, that was just adorable.
Yeah.
It was just adorable.
I think I saw that in an age where I wasn't really picking favorites. I was just kind of, transitioning from being frustrated by having friends in high school who were very conventional and thought they were cool but weren't. Like, they tried to keep me from hanging out with this really interesting existentialist filmmaker kid who was a freshman in my high school.
Who tried to come between us?
Anna and Rebecca and Alyssa.
Really?
Yes, I'm sure Maya didn't, because Maya was like the Gandhi of our group, which
It was
is
an
completely
active
out of place.
discouragement?
Well, just you told me that you came to talk to me one day at our usual spot on campus at UC Berkeley, and they said, "Come on, Jude, we have to go."
Well, they always said that.
Because every time the younger girls, yeah, that's true, but no, they probably changed the timing just to avoid you. They didn't want me to socialize with anyone but our little clique and anyone that they were.
That was a big moment for me. That was walking into enemy territory.
Really?
Yeah, and fucking rocking it like a freshman god.
But you did, because just like Madison in Splash, I was so innocent and idealistic and wasn't willing to comply with their social climbing
Yeah, you were awesome.
BS.
You were always awesome. You've been awesome ever since I've met you.
I was your heroine.
Every minute that I've known you, you've been awesome.
Really now?
Absolutely.
Well, I suppose when I get angry, I am awesomely confused and awesomely trying to be a good person, despite how upset I am. You have very pretty
We
eyes.
had some awesome salads here.
Awesome we do have awesome salads. That's true.
You know, I look like an old Florida monster now.
Well, in that hat. Anyone would in that hat. Hey, baby things. Yeah, I don't usually love you with short hair and clean shaven, but look at how cute you are. Look at your beautiful eyes.
Mm.
Beautiful eyes.
I'm smiling.
You're smiling.
Smiling's good.
And the whole world smiles with you.
It's true.
Let's pause, baby.
Okay, so rom-coms. What's next?
The Princess Bride is objectively great.
And a rom-com.
And a rom-com.
I wouldn't
Pause.
have thought of that.
I'm pausing.
Don't pause now. We're just getting going.
Okay. I
Pause
thought you wanted to be
while they
more
pause.
professional.
Yeah, well, I don't want long pauses.
Speaking of professionals,
Not
Pretty
fun.
Woman can't be ignored.
But, I mean, come on.
What?
So, common.
Yeah. Well, yes, because she tries to shop and some mean ladies don't let her. And because he offers her an expensive necklace, and when she reaches for it, he slams it shut. And because when she leaves the opera, she says, "It was so good I almost peed my pants."
So, was Cheers a romantic comedy?
Yes. Though it did not end with a happy ending.
It did end in a happy ending.
not happily romantic, but yes.
Not a marriage.
Right.
But it was about Sam accepting his life. Those last
Yep.
moments and being in love with himself and his place in the world.
Yeah.
And not just him, that happened for Rebecca too. That
For
also
Rebecca,
happened for
yeah.
Diane.
Do we really know what becomes of Diane, or just that she realizes
Well, we
that
didn't
she and
follow her
Sam
to
are...
the end, but we didn't.
Yeah.
We also didn't follow Rebecca to the end.
Well, she gives up on her tendency to impulsively idealize, criticize, and idealize things by realizing that, she and Sam have a great love for each other, but they're not meant to live, to have a life together. I find those kind of endings kind of painfully
Right.
wistful, almost to the point of being eerie,
He said,
and you embrace that.
in the last episode, he said, "This is not your life." When he was talking to all the people that he hung out with.
Right.
Norm also had a moment there at the end.
Well, see, I mean, the ideal way to live is to have the perfect partner, the perfect career, the perfect family, and the perfect group of friends. And maybe be part of the perfect culture or community. To have all of those things is what most people want.
Right, and that last moment had that connection with Coach also. And it was very loving.
Which only an insider would know, and you'd have to even be someone who reads behind-the-scenes information. Right. I remember talking, and I feel guilty about this in retrospect, but talking to my friend Jeff, and he was endlessly analyzing this woman he had been infatuated with for a long time, maybe more than that, he felt that he was in love with her. And he thought that she was avoiding getting into a relationship with him as a way of avoiding intimacy, which I was sort of too polite to say. I was questioning, maybe she's just not that into you. He was receptive once when I said maybe, because either way, for whatever reason, she was unavailable. I said maybe by, being in love with her for these last 5 years, you're keeping your heart alive. And he said, yeah, that's true.
Wow.
So he was capable, he was capable of that kind of, because, he had been in many relationships and everybody had ended up breaking his heart, primarily because he was chronically ill, and every woman he'd gotten involved with, he would say, oh, I can't really be in a relationship. I have all these chronic health problems. And they would say, oh, I don't care about that. I love you for you. I don't want you to be, some macho, high-achieving guy like that, jerk I was married to. I want you to be you. And then they'd be like, God damn it, we're at a Bob Dylan concert and you keep leaving because you don't like the cigarette smoke or something, And they would accuse him of they would put all kind of psychoanalytic jargon on his problem and
How about
suggest
Arthur?
it wasn't real.
How about
Arthur's good too. I don't love Liza Minnelli in that role. Kind of aesthetically, I don't love that look on her, but he's an irresistible performer and she's great too.
I thought she was really great in that movie, in fact.
Mm-hmm.
I guess when I was young, I didn't think she was a very sexy woman, at least not in Cabaret. I didn't think Cabaret was a sexy movie.
Oh, really? I would say just the opposite
of
those two performances.
I wasn't old enough yet, but
Mm-hmm.
when I
My arm's tired.
of course, it might be sexy now if I look at it.
Well, that's your type. You
But-
like the kind of middle-aged, noticeably middle-aged type chick.
But if I go back and look at Arthur, she was hot. Like really hot. The last thing I saw her in was Arrested Development. Hardly hot at all.
I haven't seen her in that. See, I think she was gorgeous and fascinating and adorable in Cabaret. Divine, decadent,
in
starling.
Arthur, she was just amazing.
Doesn't my body drive you wild with desire? I've got a sting. Yeah, well, you like
And-
that kind
and
of
her father-
middle-aged MILF next door.
You remember her father?
Yeah, right. No, that's, it's that kind of idea of the rich guy whose family is totally uptight and stifling and controlling and pathological, and he needs to fall in love with a commoner, a real person from the real world. I love the theory in one of my intros to one of my Jane Austen books that when Mr. Darcy falls in love with Elizabeth Bennet, what it is it's the aristocracy infusing itself with the wit and intellect and vitality and authenticity of, I'm throwing in the word authenticity, of the, not lower classes, because she's also gentry, but she's not an aristocrat. And her, Elizabeth Bennet in Pride and Prejudice.
Oh, Jane Austen.
Yeah, Jane Austen, who you have done some writing in her style, have you not?
Maybe.
I believe you have, or at least you have said you have. I've never tried to do that right in a style of a writer. I'm sure I've been influenced by writers.
Yeah, I do women authors fairly well.
Interesting.
And all my video game people are women.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? I
Well,
didn't know that. I think I knew one of them was, or a few of them were.
Well, yeah, it's because my name defaults to a woman's profile, and I just stick with it.
So you use ID when you...
Yeah, or whatever.
Either
Whatever
way.
it is, it always ends up that way.
Do guys hit on you?
Yep. So,
Do you have fun with that?
yep.
I bet you do.
Sure.
So the idea is that Elizabeth Bennet, whose father is a gentleman, which just means a family that owns land, but mother wasn't, and is kind of crude and vulgar in her way of relating to the world and expressing herself. The idea is that the aristocracy has to periodically pair with, marry people from the lower orders to
Sure, that's
stay
like
real.
herd animals, too. You need to bring in a wild
Really?
stud. Yeah, because all your studs are, like, kind of whimpered out.
Right, and inbred and stuff,
You
right.
have to let some new blood into it.
Do you think my late husband Claudio's brother Miguel's good friend, I guess best friend, was once upon a time Prince Charles, is an example of inbreeding, or is he much maligned? If so, maligned by Miguel himself, I think.
I don't know. I've heard that Prince Charles has never put toothpaste on his own toothbrush.
How was he able to carry on an extramarital affair? Well, you could, have your butler with you at all time, your valet.
So I'm not sure if that's inbreeding or what it is.
Just being spoiled?
I mean,
Well,
were they aristocrats? Who is the queen?
oh.
Who's the queen now? Do we have a Queen Mary?
Yeah, supposedly Prince Philip is from a German family that's not really that
Who's Prince Philip?
royal. That's the queen's husband. But speaking of infusions of wild DNA, I was thinking that my kitty Mia is really dumb. Mia, Lauren, Cleopatra, Steiner, Hall, Shadows, kitty. Because she's like got no sense of how to meld with a human and like coexist with a human. But now I see her as having wild intelligence. Because she's like a conquistador and an explorer. And she's like, I want to go here, I want to go there, I want to go everywhere, I want to escape. As she was. And now she's 93 and she's like, this sucks, I'm elderly and I don't want to be elderly and it sucks and I want to go everywhere and I can't see. Mommy, this sucks. I'm not content. This sucks. I'm like, sweetie, you could just relax and get on my lap. No, I have to go everywhere and do everything. This sucks. Well, you know that she almost took my eye out. She walked right across my face and her back claw just went. Mia, Lauren, Cleopatra, Steiner Hall, Shadow, Kitty. The first